Okay, so now we've worked our first row of double crochets and we should have 10 there. So if we pull it out, that was your first chain that you did that we're ignoring as a stitch. That's your first double crochet, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So we've got 10 double crochets. Now, as we said before, we work right to left. So obviously there's nowhere else to go. So what we do now to do the second row is we turn our work or flip the work, which means we just turn it so it's facing that way now. So we can work from right to left again. And we're going to do our second row of double crochets. Now, as you can see there, we've got our double crochets up there. And across the top looks like a horizontal line, if you will. And then also, if you flip it to the top, the stitches or the top of the stitch, they're all V's again. So when we're going through, so that horizontal there goes into like a little hole afterwards. So horizontal and hole, that would be your first stitch. And if you notice, it goes through the V. So it's going through 2 little loops there as a stitch. And then your second horizontal line across goes into another little hole. So again, that's your second stitch. And again, the top of the stitch is made up of the V, so you've got 2 stitches there. Okay, so again, because we're level at the first stitch there, we need to get the height. So again, after you've turned your work, we're going to be chaining 2 to get the height, so we can do your stitch from top to bottom. Okay, so we yarn over, pull through the loop on the hook, yarn over, pull through the loop on the hook. So that's our 2 chain. So now you can see we've got our height ready to go into that first stitch there. Okay, so double crochet is yarn over, so you've got 2. You're going through that first stitch, and as I say, because it's a V, you should see the V on the top. You're then pulling up a loop, which means hooking that yarn under the throat and pulling it through the stitch. You've then pulled up an additional loop, so you've got 3 loops on your hook. We're then yarning over, pulling through the first 2, and yarning over and pulling through the last 2. And that is your first stitch of your second row. Now your second stitch, you've got your horizontal stitch, you've got your double crochet going up and your horizontal stitches going across with another little divot hole there. That's the hole that you're going to be working into. So your double crochet again is yarn over, so you've got 2 on your hook, go through your stitch, which is your V, your top V, pull up a loop, which means get the yarn under the throat and pull it through the stitch. We're then going to yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over and pull through the last 2. You can start seeing that you're making your second row there going across. So let's carry it on. So yarn over, see the horizontal stripe there, and that's your next divot. So yarn over, go through the stitch, both stitches, your V's, pull up a loop, which drag the yarn under the throat through the stitch and pull up a loop. So you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. I'll do that a couple more times. That will be your next one there. yarn over, go through your stitch, pull up a loop. So you got 3 on your hook, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2. Next stitch, yarn over, go through your stitch and pull up a loop. You got 3 on your hook, bring it back to that central working point, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over and go through the last 2. Yarn over, through your stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. So put it down again. Start seeing it now. So that was your original chain. You've then got your first row of double crochet, and now we're on the second row of double crochet. So that was your chain that you made at the side. So we don't count that. We do count that one, that's your first double crochet, second double crochet, third double crochet, fourth double crochet, fifth and sixth. So we'll pull that out a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 double crochet. So we should have 4 stitches left. So we've got 1, 2, 3 and there is a 4th one at the end there. Okay, so yarn over, through your stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Next stitch, yarn over, go through your stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 and yarn over, pull through the second 2. Then got 2 stitches left. This is where it can get a bit complicated because sometimes it can be difficult to see that last stitch. This is where we can use stitch markers that I'll tell you about later in order to remember which stitch we're supposed to be going into. So yarn over, go through your stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Obviously it's still got a little bit of a bump there, so you know that you've got an extra stitch, and the other reason you know is because you count your double crochet. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So you know you've got 1 more. So if you go through that stitch you can see the V there. Sorry, I'll move that out of the way. So if you were to go through that stitch you've got your V there. But obviously what I want to do first is yarn over, so you've got double bubble on, go through that stitch, make sure you've got the V on there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, and then you can see there now that it's looking more rectangular. So we're going to move on to the next row. So the next row, obviously we're working from right to left still, so we need to turn the work. So you just turn it so it's facing that way, and we're working that way. Now obviously to get the height again, we're chaining 2, so yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through the loop, and then start your 3rd row. So it'll be in that same stitch there, which is your first V, because we're not counting those chains. So that's first V, which is that stitch there. So we're yarning over, going through the stitch, pulling up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2, and that's your first double crochet. We're then going to go into the next stitch, so yarn over, after those horizontal ones there's a divot there. If you put it through you can see you're in the next V. Pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on, make sure it's in the centre, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2, next stitch, yarn over, go through your stitch, 2 stitches on there, your V, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through the first 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through the second 2 stitches. So again, you can see there the 3rd row. Let's get some more rope, yarn. Okay, so we can continue down to the end until we get to the end of your 3rd row. So far that was the chain that we don't count. You've then got 1 double crochet there, 1 double crochet there, and 1 double crochet there. So that's 3 double crochets you've got. So yarn over, go through your stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Next stitch, yarn over, insert your hook through the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2, yarn over, through the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over through the first 2, yarn over through the second 2. Next stitch, yarn over, insert your hook through the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Next stitch, yarn over, insert your hook through this next stitch, through the V's, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Next stitch, yarn over, insert your hook through your next stitch, pull up a loop, bring it to the centre, yarn over, pull through the first 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. So looking at that now, we've got the chain stitch on the end, which we don't count. We've then got the first double crochet, second double crochet, third double crochet, fourth double crochet, fifth double crochet, sixth double crochet, 7, 8 and 9. So we've got 1 more double crochet to do. So we yarn over, find the next horizontal stitch, make sure you're going through the V, bring up a loop, yarn over the first 2, yarn over and pull through the second 2, and that is your 3rd round. If you pull it down, you can probably see a little bit better. So we've got first row here with 1 double crochet, 2, and there double crochet, and there's like a little line there that you can almost see where the next row starts. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. That's your chain that you're ignoring. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and that's your chain that you were ignoring last time. Right, so for the next row, obviously we want to work back, so we're turning the work and we're going to start the next row in a moment.